Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into something a little different today, getting a grip on your finances. Especially if you're in your 20s, like figuring out this whole adulting thing.
Yeah, definitely. It can be a lot.
And that's why we're diving into Manoj Kumar Sangabattula's book today, How to Start a Successful Financial Journey in Your 20s.
It's a good one.
He's got some seriously great advice in here, really actionable stuff. So think of this deep dive as your cheat sheet, cutting through all that financial jargon to get to the good stuff.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest takeaways I got right off the bat was how important it is to start early.
It's so true though, right?
I know, it sounds cliche, but he
Mhm.
really drives home why those early years are so crucial.
Right. And it's not even just about like retiring early, though. I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, for sure.
But the book really hit me with this line. If you are living from paycheck to paycheck, you are only one step away from poverty. It's such a stark reminder that building a solid financial base, it's not about luxury. It's about security. Having options.
Exactly. Like imagine two 25-year-olds, right? Both want to retire at 60.
Okay.
One starts investing $500 a month now. The other waits 10 years.
Okay.
Because of the magic of compounding, that early bird
Hmm.
could end up with like hundreds of thousands of dollars more,
Wow.
even if they invest the exact same amount over their lifetime.
Okay, that's a serious eye-opener. So basically, time is our biggest ally when it comes to building wealth.
Absolutely.
And this whole compounding thing, it's not just some abstract concept, right? Like, look at Warren Buffett,
Exactly.
obviously a brilliant investor.
Yeah.
But the book emphasizes how much of his wealth comes from just, like, starting young and letting compound interest do its thing.
It's like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now.
I love that.
And speaking of things that can like sneak up on you like a bad investment, he calls inflation a sneaky villain.
Oh.
We hear about inflation all the time, right?
Right.
But this book really made me think about why we need to actively fight against it, even in our 20s.
Yeah, so it's not enough to just save. We have to make our money grow faster than inflation is, right?
Yes.
So how do we actually do that?
Well, that's where investing comes in. And the book actually does a really good job at breaking down the basics: stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Yeah.
But in a way that makes sense, even if you're totally new to all of this.
Okay, so let's say like I am ready to, dip my toes into the investing pool. Where do I even begin?
Well, he's a big advocate for building responsible financial habits right from the start. And it all starts with a budget.
A budget.
I know, I know. Not the most exciting word. But think of it like this. A budget isn't about like restricting yourself. It's about understanding where your money's actually going.
Okay.
And then you can make it work for you.
It's like tracking your fitness goals, but instead of
Yeah.
calories, it's dollars. Right?
Yeah.
You can't manage what you don't measure. And speaking of managing, Sangabattula, he drops this great Murphy's Law reminder. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and at the worst possible time.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
It is. And that is where emergency funds come in.
So important.
Having that financial safety net, it can be a game changer. It's not just about being prepared for a rainy day. It's the peace of mind that comes with knowing you can handle like unexpected expenses or even a job loss without like panicking,
Exactly.
without going into debt.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned game changer because one of the things that really hit me in this book was how he gets into the psychology of money, like that whole wealth mindset
Yeah,
idea.
I love that part.
It's huge, right? It's
Right.
not just about the dollars and cents, but like our actual mindset around money makes such a difference.
Totally, yeah. He talks about how our beliefs about money can actually shape our financial reality.
It's so true.
Yeah, and he has this great quote from Robert Kiyosaki. The poor dad thinks, the reason I'm not rich is because I have kids.
Oh, I love that one.
But the rich dad thinks, the reason I must be rich is because I have kids.
It totally changes your perspective, right?
It really does. Yeah, instead of seeing like having kids as this financial burden,
Yeah.
it's like, this is my motivator to build wealth.
Exactly.
So how do we cultivate that like rich dad mindset, even if we didn't necessarily grow up with it?
Right. Well, I think a big part of it is understanding that it's not about being greedy. It's about looking at money as a tool to get you where you want to go,
Huh.
a tool to create the life you want for yourself and for the people that you care about.
It's about empowerment, right? Like having that financial freedom to make choices that are aligned with your values.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the practical steps, like he really emphasizes getting crystal clear on your income and your expenses,
Yeah.
which goes back to, like we were talking about budgeting.
Yeah, he's a big fan of tracking your spending.
Yes, 100%.
Like, I've tried those budgeting apps,
Yeah.
but I always, give up after a week.
Sure.
What's your, how do you actually stick with it?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is finding a system that works for you.
Okay.
Whether that is an app, a spreadsheet, just writing it down old school in a notebook.
Yeah.
Like it's whatever is going to make you actually do it consistently, right?
Yeah.
And remember, you're not punishing yourself. You're just trying to be aware, right?
Okay.
Once you see where your money's going, then you can make decisions.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Because I know, even for me, when I have tracked my spending, it's amazing how much money, goes to things like, I don't know, takeout coffee,
Oh, totally.
And just, becoming aware of those habits can be huge.
Exactly. And once you have that grasp on your spending, then he gets into saving strategies. And it's the little things like shopping smarter, maybe trying to negotiate prices, thinking twice before those impulse buys, those can add up.
Totally. Yeah, he mentions this idea of a waiting period for non-essential purchases.
Oh, I like that.
So it's like you see something you want, wait 24, 48 hours, and chances are you don't even want it anymore. Or you don't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off.
It really does.
Yep.
And the money you save is money you can then, put towards your goals, like investing,
Exactly.
which can feel intimidating.
For sure.
But he does a good job of breaking it down, those basic investment options, like stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Yep.
But then he gets into, the importance of diversification, that all-weather portfolio. I love that analogy.
Yeah, you want something that can weather any storm.
Exactly. Yeah. So not putting all your eggs in one basket, no matter how good that one basket might look. But how do we know what to choose? What to actually invest in?
Yeah. That's where understanding, how much risk you're willing to take and doing your research comes in. And he really emphasizes you don't have to be a financial expert to start investing.
Right.
There's so many resources out there. There's financial advisors. There's tons of educational materials.
Yeah, it's about starting somewhere.
Exactly.
Even if it's a small amount. Just start building that habit.
Yep.
Now, credit cards.
Yes,
Kind of a double-edged sword.
for sure.
How do we make sure we're using them to our advantage and not, falling into those debt traps?
He's all about using credit responsibly and strategically.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, it's making sure you pay your bills on time every time.
Yep.
It's about keeping your credit utilization low, meaning not maxing out your cards every month. And it's understanding those terms and conditions.
Especially interest rates.
Yes, the interest rates will get you.
Yeah, they're sneaky. He also talks about different kinds of loans, too.
He does, yeah.
Like personal loans, those scary home loans.
Right, and he talks about really understanding the terms, right?
Yeah.
Before you sign anything, know those interest rates, repayment schedules, all of it.
Because it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of, oh, I want to buy a house.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to be realistic
Yes.
about paying it back.
100%.
He talks about avoiding bad debt,
Yes,
which is basically debt that doesn't help you build wealth.
exactly.
Like if you're in debt for, your education or to start a business,
Yeah.
that could be considered good debt.
Okay.
But racking up credit card debt on, I don't know, shoes, probably bad debt.
Yeah, probably not going to appreciate and value those shoes.
Exactly.
Unless they're, signed or something.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
True. But shifting gears for a second, he also talks about our careers,
Yes.
how our careers can impact our financial journey.
It's so important.
It's not just about finding a job, but a career that's going to allow us to be financially stable and, reach our goals.
And he talks about advocating for yourself.
Yes, negotiating.
Yeah.
This is huge.
It is.
Because I know I've been in that position where I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
I don't even try to negotiate.
You're not alone.
It's so scary.
It is. It is. And it gets easier, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Knowing your worth and being able to articulate that is huge.
Totally. And then beyond negotiating your salary, what about always learning new things?
Yes.
Constantly upgrading our skills, because the job market, it changes so fast.
It does. He says investing in yourself is just as important as investing your money.
Yes.
You got to stay relevant, keep those skills fresh.
It's so true. Okay, so we've talked about budgeting, saving, investing, careers.
Yeah.
What about taxes?
Oh, yes, taxes. A necessary evil, right?
They're coming. He actually does a really good job of breaking down how income tax works, deductions, all that stuff.
It's about being informed so you don't overpay.
Right. And then he mentioned something called tax-efficient investing.
Oh, yes.
I don't even know what that means. What is that?
So it sounds way more complicated than it is. It's basically making sure your investments are working as hard as they can for you by keeping your tax bill as low as possible.
Okay.
So, for example, maybe instead of just putting all your money in a regular old brokerage account, you think about a tax-advantaged retirement account.
So you don't get taxed until retirement.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Which means your money grows faster.
Makes sense. And if you're just like totally lost in the world of taxes,
Yeah.
he recommends just talking to a professional.
Yes, 100%. They can save you a lot of stress.
It might not be the most fun topic,
Oh.
but it's important. Okay, and another thing that I think, especially when you're younger, is easy to overlook.
Yep.
Insurance.
Insurance, yes. It's one of those things you should have it, but
Yeah.
maybe not the most exciting thing to spend money on.
It's on the to-do list.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. He's really good about highlighting why insurance is so important. It's about protecting yourself and the people you love from, if something were to happen.
With peace of mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
He talks about different types. You've got your life insurance, health, your car, your home,
Yeah.
and, just making sure you have the right coverage for your situation.
And reviewing it.
Yeah.
Because our needs change.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to, like, the big stuff.
Yeah.
Buying a home, getting married, having kids.
The big milestones. And they often come with big financial implications.
It's exciting, but it can also be very overwhelming.
Absolutely. He really emphasizes planning and having those conversations about money, especially with your partner.
Open communication is key.
Yes, being on the same page about your goals and how you're going to get there.
Totally. And I like how he also says, it's okay to ask for help.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you don't have to do this all on your own, whether it's a financial advisor, tax professional, even just like a trusted friend or family member.
It takes a village.
It does. It does. Yeah, it's so true. It's like we think we have to figure it all out on our own.
Right.
But just having those people to talk to
Yes.
can make such a difference.
Totally. And that takes us right back to one of the biggest things in this whole book,
Mm-hmm.
that idea of a wealth mindset.
Yes.
It's so important.
It's not just about, like, the numbers and the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
It's really about, like, changing how we think and feel about money.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about how he approaches everything. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not just about, building a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
It's about building a life that you want.
Exactly.
The freedom
Yeah.
to pursue your dreams.
Yeah. And I think it's so easy to get caught up in the shoulds of personal finance.
Oh, 100%.
It's like we should be saving more, investing more, earning more.
Yeah.
But what I really appreciate is that this book really emphasizes that it's not about perfection. It's about making progress,
Exactly.
taking those small steps,
Yes.
building those positive habits.
100%. And celebrating the wins along the way, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do it all at once.
Right.
And I think one of the most important things, just to reiterate it one more time, is that it's never too early or too late, really,
Yeah.
to take control of your finances.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or if you're a little bit older and you're like, oh, shoot, I should have started this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Start now.
The best time is now. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, don't beat yourself up. Just start today.
Totally. And it doesn't have to be this big, overwhelming thing.
No.
It could be literally just, like you said, creating a budget or setting up a small automatic transfer, like from your checking to your savings every month.
Exactly.
Or even just like reading an article about personal finance once a week.
It's all about taking those small steps.
It all adds up. So as we kind of like wrap up this deep dive into how to start a successful financial journey in your 20s, I'm curious, what resonated most with you from what we talked about today?
For me, it really is about starting early, just seeing how those years, can make such a difference. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And just that it's not just about the money, it's about your mindset.
Yes.
Totally. That's huge.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like we were saying, it's a journey.
Yes.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
A marathon, not a sprint. Exactly.
There are going to be bumps in the road and detours.
Oh, yeah. You'll hit some potholes for sure.
And wrong turns. It's all part of the process.
Exactly. But you keep learning, you keep growing, you just keep going.
I love that. Yeah. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, here's a thought for everyone listening.
Okay.
What is one small step, just one tiny little action that you can take today to start building that stronger financial future for yourself?
Because, like we said, it all starts with one step.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes, thanks for listening.
We'll be back soon with a whole new topic to explore.
Yes, we will.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.